Hey, hello, it's another day. Beautiful day in Pennsylvania. We got about 3 inches of snow last night outside, and it's still flurrying right now. It's March 2018. And my name is Timothy Allen Harmon, and I am your host for the Jefferson County General Assembly of Pennsylvania. Jefferson County, named after Thomas Jefferson. If you need information about common law grand juries, you can go to the website at Jefferson County General Assembly.org. So I was listening online last night to some folks, and they was talking about gun control. A couple of them were concerned about gun control and things like that, and it just seemed that they did not understand the concept of gun control. So I wanted to go through this issue because the federal government does not have the authority to take your weapons. They just don't. The Brady Bill is not constitutional. All these gun laws that they make, they're not constitutional. And if they was actually taken into court, because nobody has taken them into court, if they were to take them into court, they would be thrown out. The thing is, like you have the NRA, and that's a real good organization, but they compromise a lot. Okay, well, we'll let you get away with this, but not anymore. Okay, so let's talk about this for a few minutes. The reason that the government would have control over you is only for one reason, and that would be if you were a felon or if you were a federal employee. All right? So, a felon, even a felon, would not necessarily fall into that same category as a federal employee. Because if you're part of the federal corporation, then the federal government obviously can tell you what to do. If you go to work for a corporation and they have rules and you break those rules, they can fire you. In the case of the government, they could put you into their incarcerate you, right? Or fine you, give you fines. They give you taxes. Taxes are just another way of giving you fines. Okay, so the whole understanding behind the gun control thing, we have to go back to the beginning. In 1795, the Supreme Court ruled in Doan's Penhallow versus Doan's administrators. Okay, it says that all governments are corporations. They are dead entities, and they are man-made. Now, I've given this demonstration before. I make a chair. I build the chair, and the chair cannot tell me what to do. Well, the sovereign people of the United States created a constitution, and that constitution created government. We, the people, created the government. The government does not tell us what to do. We tell the government what we want them to do. That's a republic. Now, the government itself works as a democracy. Real quickly, the difference between a democracy and a republic. A republic, you have 100 people called for jury duty. Out of 100 people who are called for jury duty, 14 of them, that's 12 and 2 alternates, get called to jury duty. So you have 12 people making a decision. Out of those 12 people, 8 of them have to be on your side. So you have 8 people out of 100 that you have to have on your side. That's a republic. In a democracy, it's totally different. You need 51% of the people on your side. And guess what? The other 49%, they lose. Okay, so that's the way the courts work. The courts work democratically. So unless you're at a common law venue with common law juries, and common law grand juries, then you're going to be running into this problem because that's called a plea bargain. And in a plea bargain, nobody wins. It's 50-50 or 40-60 or however they want to figure it out. Nobody wins. And that's what happens under what is called British equity. All the courts in the United States are administrative courts. They are not courts of justice. We have not, had any courts of justice since 1789 because we created the Constitution. The Constitution created the government. Now, understand, real simple. The Congress and the president, okay? So the Congress creates the law. The president administers the law, called rules and regulations. Same thing happens in the state court. They have a House of Representatives, a Senate, they create law, and the governor is supposed to fulfill the law. The governor is the highest magistrate in the state, the same as the president is the highest magistrate in the federal government. So all the law is administrative. What the Supreme Court's supposed to do is decide whether or not the law is constitutional or whether the law that's being administered is being administered properly according to the Constitution. But the problem therein comes down to, especially lately, in March 1st of 1991, let's go back just a little bit. December of 1990, Congress created a new ruling that by March the 1st, all people in office had to take a new oath. That new oath of office did not take the oath to the Constitution. It says they take they give their oath under the Constitution, which isn't the same as agreeing with the Constitution. The old one said agreeing with the Constitution. The new one says under the Constitution, and there's nothing to be under in the Constitution. There's nothing to be under. So when you go into their courts, if you bring up the Constitution, they say that doesn't apply here, and they're right, because these are a corporation having corporate courts. These are not our common law de jure courts. These are corporate courts. Okay, so all courts are federal. They're all federal because these are federal employees. They're called U.S. citizens. Now, if you're sovereign, you cannot call yourself a U.S. citizen. I cannot call myself a resident of Pennsylvania. I cannot call myself a taxpayer. I am none of those things. Those are corporate names. Okay, so moving on. Gun control. This corporation, according to Penhallow versus Doan's administrators, all governments are corporations. They cannot do business with a living man. Okay, so if I build a chair, I sit in a chair, I use the chair accommodates me. But the chair does not tell me what to do. Same with government. We created the government. The government accommodates us. There are 19 things in the Constitution that they're supposed to do for us. That's it. Anything else is fraud. Those 19 things is the only thing that they're allowed to do. All right? So, what happens is, though, they have usurped that authority. And they do that through what is called the birth certificate. Now, the birth certificate is a registration of your names. They register your names at the courthouse when you're born. They do that with your mother's signature. What they don't tell you is that your father is supposed to record a deed at the courthouse, at the land jurisdiction. So they record everything in commerce. They register. They register everything in commerce. And a man records a deed at the courthouse. Two totally different things. One is at the jurisdiction of the land, which is a political status. And one is at the jurisdiction of the sea. So when you're in a different jurisdiction, they have no authority over you whatsoever. That being said, a man takes his name, just like I had said on the other videos. I was born, and my inheritance is my name. So I was granted my name, but I am not my name. Queen Elizabeth has a name. Her name is Mary Alexandra Windsor. Okay, but they call her Queen Elizabeth. Well, it's a title. My name is a title. It's not me. It's a title. So I can use it whenever I'm in business with other people. Now, that business could be something as simple as, hey, Tim, do you want to take out the garbage? Yeah, okay, I'll take out the garbage, Mom. All right. That is business as usual. When you go into court, it's business as usual. These guys, what they do is they take your name into court. They don't take you. They're not allowed to take you because you're not in their jurisdiction. They cannot change the Constitution because we, the people, created the Constitution sovereign. And the sovereign people cannot be usurped by the chair that I'm sitting in. The chair cannot tell me what to do. All right, you have to put this together. You have to put two and two together. So, the federal government does not have the jurisdiction to change the Constitution, but there are 3 constitutions. 3. 2 of them are corporate. Now, they can do whatever they want with that. But the sovereign Constitution is called the Constitution for the United States of America. That's the original 1787 Constitution. After that, we created a second Constitution called the Constitution of the United States. That's their Constitution. That's the one that created all that federal government to do business for us internationally because it's a corporation. This corporation does business intrastate and internationally for us. Pennsylvania is a nation. It's a nation state. So Pennsylvania is a nation all by itself. New York, Maryland, Virginia, we're all nations. And because we're all nations, we have to do business with one another. And that corporation called the United States of America is what regulates that interstate and international business. That's all it is. These guys have 19 things they're supposed to do for us. They're not supposed to touch the Constitution. They're not allowed to touch our Constitution. Remember, there are 3 constitutions. 3. You have to figure this out, people. They're not allowed. They will never be able to because without the land jurisdiction, without the people, they don't exist. The chair does not exist without the creator. That's just the way it is. The chair does not exist without the creator. So the government does not exist without the sovereign people. The minute they try to touch your sovereignty, it's over. But you need to take your deeds and record them at the courthouse. Okay? You take your deeds, you record them at the courthouse. You can go to that website, go to my website, okay, Jefferson County General Assembly.org. Look up the information. Go to AnnaVonRights.com if you want to, but it's easier to go to my website. I have a lot of links that take you to specific places on her website. Figure this out, people. There is no gun control. They don't have the right to make gun control except within their corporation. They can do whatever they want in their corporation, and they do. Okay, so the Brady Bill is effective if you're a federal employee. But that's it. You know, income taxes are effective if you're a federal employee. That's another subject altogether. All right. I'm going to let you go for now. And it's a beautiful day outside. I hope that this helped you. And I'll probably get back on this subject again because it's something that I keep hearing about.